Yo, what's up, guys? Teacher Paul over here, and today we are reacting to a coffee request. If you want to request a video, click over here or go over to Buy Me Coffee. And thank you for your support. The link is in the pinned comments. Guys, today's video comes from Aussie Deb, who says, "Hi, Paul. As it's Anzac Day on Friday, 25th of April, and I wanted to share this with you about our Anzacs from World War I. One of my granddads fought in World War I as a 5th Light Horseman. My dad and 7 of my 9 uncles served in World War II. We were very blessed they all came home." That is so great. That is like really great news, Deb. That's really nice. I find it amazing that you come from, a family of soldiers. It's just absolutely amazing and makes a lot of sense. They are all gone now. Oh, so sorry to hear that. So Anzac Day is very emotional and special for me. Australia had only 5 million people in 1915, and we lost nearly 9,000, mainly 17 to 20-year-olds in this one battle. Wow, 9,000 17 to 20-year-olds. Man. You will see how amazing the Turks are with us, with showing us so much respect, and it is reciprocal from us too. Thank you for watching and sharing this special time with me. Okay, guys, so happy Anzac Day. And let's check this out. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. This is from a channel called 60 Minutes Australia. So let's go, guys. And if you have any stories you want to share with us, leave it in the comments and let's do this.
This time last week, I was standing on the beach at Anzac Cove. The clearest sea, the cliffs, the gullies and the ridges, it's all quite overwhelming. 8,709 Aussie soldiers were killed at Gallipoli. But now 10 times that number of Aussie tourists make their pilgrimage each year. And most of them about the same age as the soldiers who died there. It's a phenomenon, almost a rite of passage. Young Australians in search of our history and
Gallipoli.
perhaps in search of ourselves. This is a place of the mind. I've never been anywhere that makes the imagination run wild as Gallipoli does. Throw some pebbles in these crystal clear Aegean waters and it becomes a shrapnel shower. Glance up at these towering cliffs and you see 1,000 diggers under fire. A fishing boat becomes a flotilla. What was then the greatest amphibious assault in military history. This place, Gallipoli, really is an awesome place.
These blokes probably got on the boat. They're feeling terrific. They're off on the great adventure. They were strong, healthy, good-looking chaps. Going to have a good
Wait, wasn't there a 60 Minutes with John Farnham?
time, full of innocence. And they've hit this place, and innocence is gone, and it's never coming back. They've lost it forever.
Oh, so that's...
Oh, okay.
Les Carline is the master storyteller. He's trodden all the trenches and stumbled all the gullies with all the ghosts. He's turned Gallipoli into a runaway bestseller.
Yeah, the ghosts are there. The ghosts are there. Sometimes you don't. But if you're alone on those hills, they're haunted hills, they really are. And you feel in a way you're a bit of an intruder. Because everywhere you walk, if you think about it, you're walking over bodies. They're just under the ground. It's only a small area, it's 500 acres. You're walking over dead people.
So it's a cemetery ground.
On a clear day from the high ground, you can see where almost 1 million soldiers fought.
Wait, did he say
In
a
the
million?
high ground, you can see where almost 1 million soldiers fought.
Goodness, wow. Well, not at the same day, right?
In the gullies below, new life. The blossoms of another springtime camouflage for a moment the fact that more than 100,000 good men died here. Still, the reminders of war are everywhere. The monuments, the dozens of cemeteries, and of course, that infamous beach.
Is that a cherry blossom? Do you have those in Australia?
Well, you stand on Anzac Beach now, Ray, and it doesn't look much. But in 1915, it was like this incredible mining camp. The beach was stacked with stores, boxes of this, boxes of that, people carting stuff up the hill, and it had all the bustle of the mining camp, but it had a horror and a smell. All the soldiers talk about the smell of death.
This is in
Sickly
Turkey?
Sweet smell of death.
Gallipoli?
And it had a
Oh,
horror
okay.
that made it something else again.
This is rare footage. Just a
Okay, wait. I thought... Okay. I was thinking like, where is the strategic place, right? That people... Okay, I was thinking something else here. So this was in Turkey.
few minutes exist, the only moving pictures of the whole Gallipoli campaign. 5,000 men perished along this ridgeline here, many hundreds more in the gullies below. The generals called a truce in the middle of the battle so they could bury their dead. And they still tell the story around here of the 2 enemy soldiers who stopped for a yarn and a smoke. The Turk said, "Which country are you from?" And the digger replied, "I'm from Australia." "Australia? Why would you come all this way to kill me?"
Gallipoli is an Australian church, if you like. It's in the nature of a pilgrimage, it's in the nature of nostalgia, it's in the nature of finding out about an Australia that no longer exists and isn't coming back. And it's just one of those things where it seems to give out a siren call, and these young people want to go there, and you say to them, "Why are you here?" And they have trouble telling you, except they want to be there.
Gallipoli is now a year-round tourist magnet. In the sleepy seaside village of Etchebat, where tractors park alongside Toyotas, TJ's is a backpacker's bonanza. This past year, 20,000 wandering Aussies and Kiwis have rested up here, and they've watched Mel Gibson
Have you been
run
there,
at
Aussie,
Gallipoli,
then?
which TJ plays non-stop in the lounge.
Coming here for me is
There's a movie about this
acknowledging
too.
and commemorating all the thousands of people who did die here.
Nobody is forgetting. In fact, the memory is getting stronger. A decade ago, it was a good day if a few hundred turned up for the dawn service. Last year, 15,000 young Anzacs hit the beach at Gallipoli. As the sun comes up next Thursday, they're expecting an even bigger roll-up, with swags and flags and flickering candles, and a tear to remember what we almost forgot.
I was dumbfounded. I just didn't think that, you know, an uncle went to war. He was only 18 and died here. It blew me away.
But you look at the bloke alongside him was 18.
18 as well.
That is crazy, guys.
Where were you most emotional when you wandered around here?
Definitely here.
Brendan Simpkins' great uncle died here at Lone Pine, and Brendan made the pilgrimage with some mates.
I was learning how to drive my first car when I was 18, you know, and he's here fighting a war. Incredible. I guess it's that mateship, that fighting side by side.
Dude, they're just kids, man.
Yeah, knowing that it wasn't just, you didn't sign up by yourself, you signed up with your best friend, and you're going off to see the world with your best friend. Yeah,
You're probably dying with your best friend.
and die with your best friend, yeah.
So they gave me a tin hat and they gave me a gun.
Dude, that is... At the same time, that is sad. It's also honorable, what Whiplash is saying. Like, imagine being so far from the war, but still putting your life on the line. Because, I mean, Australia is like really, really, really far from, you know, the rest of the world in general. And, but still going over to Turkey to fight and, you know, put your life at risk. It's just absolutely incredible. And only real honorable men can do that. And the fact that they were only kids, man, that's really, that's the saddest part, because they died very, very young.
Way to the war.
The Poms, when they saw all these bronzed figures on the beach, were astounded at them, you know, the height of them, the physical build of them, and the fact that they suntan so easily and everything else. But that didn't last long. Then they got dysentery. Some of them were walking around with wounds. They didn't get treated. They got lice. They got everything. And in the end, you saw, in the photos, you saw these faces had changed. They were haunted faces.
And their ghosts may be heard as they march by that billabong.
Waltzing Matilda.
Waltzing Matilda with me.
Cameron Reynolds is here to dip his uncle's World War II medals in the sacred waters of Anzac Cove, the same beach where his grandfather Alf jumped ashore in 1915.
Looking at here, this is where he spent his 21st birthday, and most of the year when he's 20 and 21. It's quite something to see where he was, considering what we do for a 21st now, and what, you know, but it wasn't much of a party or a...
But if we look at that, that could be you.
Yeah, it was very...
Sometimes we take things for granted, like our lives today. I know we have our own problems and issues, but looking back, you know, things were a lot worse. Like, the stakes were a lot higher, and we gotta really respect our elders for, you know, for what they did, especially the veterans, who many times don't get the respect they need and they deserve. So yeah, it's a very important day today, Anzac Day, to remember the veterans and the people who fought, you know, for the generations that they didn't live in.
Very alike and similar, resembling exactly. Seems to be the same man in the picture.
Yes. But luckily I didn't have to go through all this.
Alf Reynolds worked as a stretcher bearer alongside the legendary John Simpson and his donkey.
John
So my
Simpson.
grandfather would have started just over the hill here and walked up here every day.
Of course, definitely, from the rich.
Always under fire, the first task of the diggers was literally to dig.
You have rifle, you lie on the ground like this,
It's in the title.
and then you take your pick and shovel from your back.
Kanan
While
Shelik's
shooting, if you have
grandfather
time,
also
break.
fought here,
Any time
but
of
on the
break,
Turkish
From
side.
shooting, you take your
Kanan
pick
knows
and
more
shovel
about Gallipoli
and start
than
grazing
just
the
about
ground
any
like
man
this.
alive.
Shooting and grazing. Your mate does the same over there. He does the same. So you go deeper and deeper. In the night, when you have time, you connect them, and then becomes front line like this.
87 long years later, it only takes a rainstorm to remind us of the horror that happened here.
So, Kanan, this is a piece of bone,
Yes, it is.
human bone,
Yes, I think so.
Wow.
and a bullet here.
Yeah, it's a Turkish bullet, I guess.
That big?
I mean, your imagination can run
Oh wait,
crazy.
it looked
the idea
bigger.
of an Australian being shot by the Turks here, and here's the bullet that killed him.
Yeah.
How do you know it's Turkish?
Because it's pointed. It's pointed. Australian one's round. Turkish one's pointed like this.
So is this, what's this one?
This is Turkish again. This
Is
is
it-
Turkish.
and this is-
Australian. Yeah.
So that's the Australian one.
But still, you come across millions of bullets and millions, of shells were used here in Gallipoli.
You can still find the bullets there.
Australians,
Dang.
probably the most famous battle of the Gallipoli campaign occurred at a place called the Neck.
Call it suicide, call it murder. But within a few metres, in a few minutes, there were 300 young Australians who were lying dead out there. Now, the Turkish machine guns were just over there, and yet over the top they went, wave after wave. Probably because of Peter Weir's film, what happened here at the Neck has come to symbolise the very essence of Gallipoli.
The neck is an incredibly sad battle because it was just a total waste of two regiments of light horse. They had no hope. They were running straight at machine guns. 4 lines of them went.
Why did
after
they
the first
go?
line went, it was obvious the other 3 were going to get wiped out. Some of them didn't get 10 yards out of the trenches.
See, in this situation, it's not even the soldiers' fault. They are led into battle knowing it's a suicide mission. It's just really, oh man. Sometimes the leadership, they are behind their desks and they just say go and they don't know, or oh man, it's such a sad thing, right? Because they're the people who call the shots normally aren't in battle. They're normally outside and just tell people to go. That is absolutely horrendous. He said it was a total waste. Oh my goodness, it could have been avoided if there were strategic planning and people doing their jobs. It's just really sad.
There's something quite surreal about Gallipoli, where shepherds can serenade sheep with flamenco music in pastures soaked in blood. Now remember, we killed almost 60,000 of their young men. What fascinates and puzzles Australians who visit today is the respect and the hand of friendship the Turks offer us.
It was one of those wars where, God help us, they were trying to kill each other all the time, but it did have an honour that you seldom see in a war. There were no civilians involved. It was just soldier against soldier. I think Gallipoli, funnily as it seems, is Australia's greatest monument. It's not in Australia. Here we are in this strange place, in a country in 1914 and 15, in a country we knew so little about, and we're fighting these people, the Turks, we knew so little about, and we didn't really have any beef against them anyway. And here, in this strange, hard-to-get-to spot, here's the biggest memorial Australia's got in another country, and that's probably why so many young people go there.
Right now, they're polishing up the Australian monument at Lone Pine. They're building seats.
Let me know how many of you guys watching this. Let me know in the comments how many of you have been there and how many you want to go. It's in your bucket list.
For 16,000 visitors. And down at Anzac
16,000
Cove, they're
visits.
mowing the lawn for the big dawn service.
Here in this country of ours, you the mothers who sent their sons from faraway countries, wipe away your tears. Your sons are now lying in our bosom and are in peace. After having lost their lives on this land, they've become our sons as well.
It's like they're still here. They're still wandering around, and you come here not to look at the graves.
Guys, I think just remind me, refresh my memory. Anzac is Australia and New Zealand Army Corps. Is that it? Or no? Because I think sometimes we forget that I'm a foreigner, like the basics. What does it stand for? I got that right? Okay, at least I got that right. Okay, cool. Because I just want to share that this is like my first time reaction to this. So normally in the first time reaction videos, I don't do a lot of research or any research at all. That's the point of first time reaction. But I did want to know what Anzac stood for, I think last week. At least that I was able to, fit in. But yeah, just wanted to get that out of the way.
It's like they're still here. They're still wandering around, and you come here not to look at the graves, but to visit them.
Everywhere you walk in Gallipoli, you're intrusive. You sort of feel, you're treading on someone's soul. You're going to a place you really shouldn't be. But you've got to go to that place to understand it.
Hello, I'm Adam Hegarty. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips.
Okay, guys, I can't stress enough how important it is for us to value the people who fight for the country and the people who risk their lives for the future generations, knowing that they might not live the, you know, because they're fighting for a better world, and they fully understand that they might not live in that world that they're so honorably fighting to achieve. So this is a great day to remember and, you know, to value the people who fight for us, not only the men but the women as well. So if you know a veteran, go, you know, show them some appreciation. And thank you so much, Aussie Deb, for sharing this with me. And this was such an educational video. And I think it's important for us to learn about, you know, world history and just remember things that happen around the world so that we can value them and so that we can pay tribute to them as well. So thank you so much, Aussie Deb. Thank you to everyone who's watching this today in Anzac Day. And yeah, if you want to request a video, go over to Buy Me Coffee, click over here, or click over here to see my Australia playlist. So I'm going to add it to the Australia playlist. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.